Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break on the 9-game NBA main slate on Monday. A couple things before I get in the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also here to announce the winner to the weekly $20 PayPal giveaway. The winner is Mitten Main. Either hit me up, congrats. Either hit me up in the sorry, I lost my cursor here. Hit me up in either the YouTube comment section or on Twitter. I can make sure to get you that $20 PayPal. But yeah, how this giveaway works is all you have to do is do a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment of the video. So it starts with this video right here. We'll go throughout the week. We'll end my Monday night video or Monday NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, and the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, and the giveaway 10 times. And again, the winner receives $20 PayPal for myself. Also, I apologize for not getting a video up for Sunday. I've been really under the weather, still have a fever now, so I'm trying to get this video out for you guys. But sorry if I'm sound a little bit under the weather. But yeah, all right, let's jump into the video here. So again, 9 games. Let's take a look at some over-unders and spreads really quick for some of the games that are out right now. We have 5 of the 9 out. So we have Nets Magic right now, 210.5 with the Magic favored by 5. We have Pacers Hornets at 209.5 with the Pacers favored by 5. We have Thunder 76ers at 213, 76ers favored by 7. We have Jazz Pelicans at 222 with the Jazz favored by 3. We have Bucks Spurs at 229.5 with the Bucks favored by 7. Also, again, I didn't have a video up, but I did tweet out my core plays for Sunday. Everyone doing pretty solid. It was Derrick Jones Jr., Damian Lillard, John Henson, and Devin Booker. If you guys didn't see that on my Twitter, it is important to follow me. When I'm not able to get up videos, I'll usually either do core plays or my player pool, something like that. So, but yeah, let's talk about some plays here for Monday. So at the top is Joel Embiid, and again, he stands out as a pretty good play right now at 9.4K. I just think he's like a 10 to 10.5K player. So about $500 to $1,000 too cheap in my opinion. It's a spot where I'm not super worried about Steven Adams' defense. He's a solid defender, but all in all, like Embiid will get, about 35 or so in a close game. So I think Joel Embiid really stands out at that price. Jokic, it's so tough to figure this guy out, really is. Because, like I said in my videos, he just goes on these stretches where he'll take over games and have like really good games and stretch really good games, and then he'll have games where he'll just sit back and not do a whole lot. And we're in one of those stretches right now where he's just being very passive, not doing a whole lot offensively. 33, 34, 29, 35 fantasy points the last 4 games. Before that, though, we know the upside is there. Like, we know we can get us to 50, even to 60. So it's tough to really break him down. I think he's more just in play for GPPs, even in a really, really good spot. Like, I like his upside. I just don't know if I can recommend him for cash games or not. So I think he's more of a GPP-only play. Sabonis at 8.6, one of my favorite plays of the day here. Against that Charlotte front court, we do want to target bigs against Charlotte. And yeah, Sabonis is a little bit underpriced. His price came down $300 after having 47 fantasy points. Again, one of the better matchups here. So Sabonis, I really like him at that price. You guys know I just love Sabonis anyway, but I think he does really stand out today at that price point. Vucevic at 8.3K, also a really good spot here against Brooklyn. I think he's a little underpriced. Like, he's had a stretch of tough matchups here, or I guess 2 games with Miami and Utah, but now he gets a pretty favorable match here against the Nets. So I think Vucevic also stands out at 8.3K. Rudy Gobert, again, a really, really good spot here against the Pelicans. The one concern with Gobert I always have playing him is he doesn't do a whole lot offensively. Like, he's got to get those offense rebound putbacks. Like, they're never going to give the ball to Gobert and have him post up a whole lot, right? That's just not his game. So that, in my opinion, caps his upside a little bit. But yeah, this game should be played at a really fast pace. So I do have some interest here. Gobert at 7.9K. Let's see. Porzingis is out once again. So obviously that's a huge boost to Luka. Powell and Kleber are in play, but their prices are both up. We have Aldridge at 7.5K. Same matchup here against Milwaukee just a couple days ago. So I think him and DeRozan are a little bit underpriced. It's just, again, whether or not you think this game stays close, there's definitely a little bit of blowout risk here. But if you think this game stays close, I think Aldridge or DeRozan, one of those two, probably gonna have to, one of those two will probably have to have a pretty big game. So I think Aldridge is fine at that price. John Collins is questionable. That's something we'll have to keep an eye on. If he misses, Maybe Jabari Parker, but he's also questionable. And then if he misses, if he's out as well, we could look like Bruno Fernando or those other guys. But again, we kind of saw it in the last game with everyone out for the Hawks. It was basically just a Trae Young show. I mean, Kevin Huerter did a really good game as well, but that was about it. Like, no one else did a whole lot. So, obviously, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Favors revenge game spot at under 7K. It's a really bad matchup, but I do like the price, and I like that he's been getting the minutes. So I think he is playable. Probably not my favorite play, though. Let's see, other options. Bagley, Holmes, at 6.6K is, 31, 34, 34 minutes the last 3 games. This is a pretty decent spot here against Golden State. I would obviously only look there if Bagley can't play. Bagley is questionable right now, so again, that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. Let's see. We have Lauri Markkanen, I believe, is questionable with an ankle sprain, so this is somewhat significant. If he misses, I think Thad Young would stand out as a really, really good value play. You could also look to Wendell Carter Jr. as well. His usage would go up. He's at 40 and 42 fantasy points the last couple games, so yeah, if Markkanen is out, it's definitely a huge boost to Thad Young, as well as a usage boost to a guy like Wendell Carter Jr. Again, Kleber and Powell, if you want to land one of those guys, it's fine. Kleber actually has been pretty decent, 37, 31, 36 fantasy points with no Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to have to play some good minutes, so I'm fine if you want to go there, 5.9. Cantor, again, that's only GPP because he plays limited minutes, but he has gotten you there in the last 3 games, 47, 34, and 38 fantasy points. I just can't do it for cash games at an elevated price point. Miles Turner, so if you can't get up to Sabonis, I don't mind Miles Turner. Obviously, he doesn't have as much upside, but he's a lot cheaper. Would I play both Indiana bigs against Charlotte? Probably not. But again, if you can't get Sabonis, I'm perfectly fine taking the savings there on Miles Turner. We do want to target bigs against Charlotte. The whole Jarrett Allen, DeAndre Jordan situation, again, these guys are more GPP viable because they just split the minutes. They'll kind of ride the hot hand. I'm fine if you want to take a shot on those guys, but no one really stands out there. Alex Lena, 5.3K. So he had a pretty decent game, actually, in that game with John Collins and Jabari Parker. They're just super, super thin up front. If both those guys are out once again, you could give a look to Alex Lena for GPPs. But again, his price is coming up, and it's a really bad matchup against Denver. Let's see, other options. Willie Cauley-Stein got very limited. The Golden State's rotations right now are just too hard to trust with Steve Kerr. I can't really trust any of these guys at the moment. Biyombo and Cody Zeller actually stand out as decent plays. Now, Biyombo got 37 minutes the last game. Don't know if we can expect that again, but the Pacers do run big. That we know. So I think either Biyombo or Cody Zeller is value guys. Again, Zeller's minutes have been a bit down, but I think both those guys are definitely playable on the cheaper end. Let's see, Nerlens Noel is out. That's sorry, that's not a big deal. Maybe Steven Adams gets a little more run. Mike Muscala will probably get the backup center minutes. Let's see, Daniel Tice at 4K. I think he's fine value option. He's going to get around 25 or so minutes. It's one of the better spots here against Washington. AP, so I believe I glossed over. Let's see, yeah, Mahimi is questionable as well here for Washington. And they still have everyone else out with Wagner, Rui, and Thomas Bryant. If Mahimi can't go, literally, like, AP is their only big available because they released Jonathan Williams. So I think he would become one of the better value plays if Mahimi can't go. Yeah, so a guy like Bruno Fernando, right, he played 21 minutes. He's not a guy that's going to be super productive out there, but if all those guys are out once again and he starts, I think 15 to 20 minutes at min price, he's okay if you want to go more stars than scrubs. Well, let's move on to power forward here. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 10.9. This really stands out as a good price. I know he had an off game for Giannis, right? He had 32 real life points, but only 47 fantasy points. Again, price dipped under 11K. In a close game, I think he gets around 30 or so minutes, maybe a little bit more. So, I do like the price a good amount there on Giannis if you're going more stars than scrubs. Ingram an 8.4 against the Jazz, probably not for me. We do have Drew Holiday questionable, so that would be a usage boost to some of those other guys. But even so, I don't think I want to go there at that price. Now, these Boston guys stand out as pretty decent plays. The wings, Tatum, Brown, Hayward. We have Kemba Walker once again out. So I think Marcus Smart, even though so Smart had a really good game, one game with Kemba out, and a really bad game, one game with Kemba out, but I still think Marcus Smart at his price, just taking pricing consideration, stands out as the best play. But these wings too, like Tatum, Hayward, and Brown, are very much viable. And again, one of the best possible matchups there against Washington. Yeah, Hayward, if you want the savings off of Tatum, I think he's going to be a little bit more popular because he is cheaper, but I'm perfectly fine with him at that price. Tobias Harris, I really wish they would raise his price. I don't like playing him. He's so scoring dependent, but 6.4K does make him firmly in play. Again, my issue with him is he does have to score the ball most of the time to get you fantasy points. Aaron Gordon at 6K, he has got 31, 34 minutes in back-to-back games, so the minutes are somewhat secure. Without obviously no Jonathan Isaac, that is a boost to him. I'm okay with it. I think I would, rather pay the extra couple thousand for Vucevic on the same team. But if you want to spend down a little bit for Aaron Gordon, that's fine. Other options, yeah, there's not a whole lot I like here in this kind of next tier of guys. Yeah, Jabari, he's questionable as well. If John Collins can't go, I think Jabari would stand out as a decent play if he starts. Obviously, he comes to the bench. I just couldn't trust the minutes because they have so many guys to give minutes to. But if Jabari does start, if John Collins is out, I would have interest there at 4.7K. DeAndre Hunter, again, this is the reason why I brought up you can't really trust these Atlanta Wings. He played 30 minutes and had 1 fantasy point. How is that even possible? But he's had other games where he's had 30, 40 fantasy points. It's just, yeah, I can't trust these Atlanta Wings. I don't think we have to go there in the slate. Even if all those guys are out, I think there are better value options. If you really feel strongly about DeAndre Hunter, if you think he's in a bounce back spot, fine, but I will not be going there. Michael Porter Jr. So this really tilted me on Saturday. If you guys saw him on Twitter, there was Mike Malone literally quoted before the game, said Michael Porter Jr. is going to play 25 minutes, into the future from here on out. And in this game against Washington, he plays him 12 minutes. So really, really tilted because in my Saturday lineup, I was about 2 points away from cashing GPPs. I only played GPPs. If I played cash games, it would have been an easy cash. But yeah, was about 2 to 3 points away from cashing and had Michael Porter Jr. in my lineup. So very, very tilting there. Mike Malone, can't trust him at all. One of the worst coaches for DFS. He's up there with David Fizdale. I know, thank God he's finally fired. But Mike Malone, one of the worst coaches in the NBA. Let's see. Other option, again, don't play Jonathan Williams. He got released. If Mahimi's out too, they have no front court depth, though. That's why I think AP would stand out as a really good play. Thad Young. So I think he'd be one of the best value plays if Lauri Markkanen is out and if Thad Young is inserted in the starting lineup. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. If that is the case, again, I think he really stands out at that price. Justin, I can't trust these Dallas secondary pieces. The rotations are so up and down with everyone. Rick Carlisle will go with a hot hand. I know he's got 26 and 29 minutes, but even he's just a low usage guy. I really can't trust any of these Dallas secondary pieces. It's kind of Luka, and that's it. If you want to go to Kleber or Dwight Powell, that's fine. But everyone else is just, I can't trust it. Okay, so let's move on to small forward. And Luka at the top at 12.2 had 77 fantasy points. His upside is just huge. He played 43 minutes. Now the game, I believe, went to overtime, right? I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that game did go to overtime. But either way, his upside is just massive. Even at this price at 12.2K, I think he's very, very much in play. He's just the do-it-all guy. It's just, again, whether or not, do you feel comfortable with the value guys? If you feel comfortable with enough value guys to fit him in and you feel confident, 100% go Luka. Right now, again, if there's enough value that opens up, I'm for sure going to try to plug in Luka. If there's not, then I'll probably go elsewhere. But, as a sped up, you really can't go wrong, and the only downside is the price tag. Ben Simmons at 8.8 has had that massive game the last game against Houston. I would not expect 78 fantasy points once again from him, but 8.8K, I still think he is in play for a guy that, again, gets all those peripheral stats. And when he has the good shooting night like he did against Houston, the upside is massive. That's why I like playing guys like that fill up the stat sheet. So Ben Simmons, once again, I think is in play even at an elevated price. Brad Beal is questionable. This is pretty significant. If he misses, then we could look to some of those secondary pieces for Washington. I'll talk about him in a bit. It just seems whoever comes off the bench for Washington when Beal's out has the big game. It was McCray a couple games ago, then it was Troy Brown last game. Ish Smith had a big game off the bench as well. So it seems like whoever, if Beal's out, you're going to want to target whoever's on the bench, really. I mean, that's just how it's been. That's the trend kind of last 3 games. Let's see. Again, Tatum, Brown, Hayward, very, very much in play here in one of the best possible spots here against Washington. Yeah, I like all 3 of those wings a lot. I also like Buddy Hield a lot at this price, 7.2K. He was big for me on Saturday. Again, he almost brought me into the cash. Unfortunately, again, Mike Malone screwed me with not giving Michael Porter Jr. minutes. Don't want to talk about that anymore. But yeah, 39 minutes at 47 fantasy points. The minutes are there. The upside is there. He's shooting the ball a ton, even with De'Aaron Fox in the lineup. So I do have a good amount of interest there in Buddy Hield at that price. Will Barton had an off game for sure. That last game in a really, really good spot against Washington. 31 minutes, 15 fantasy points. That's going to lower the ownership on him a lot, but I still think he is viable at the price. I would have liked if he was a little bit cheaper, but I think he is still in play. DeRozan, again, if you're going to target Giannis on one side, you're probably going to want to run it back with either LaMarcus Aldridge or DeRozan. We saw in that last game, DeRozan had the bigger game there, 32 minutes, 40 fantasy points at 6.7K. So, yeah, again, if you're targeting Giannis, you're hoping that game stays close, then you're probably going to want to run it back with one of those Spurs. Troy Brown. So he had the big game off the bench. Again, he had started the last few games, only 25 and 21 fantasy points, and he comes off the bench and has 51 fantasy points. We saw it with Ish Smith as well, and then we saw it a couple games with McCray. So it's just kind of a unique coincidence, I think, but yeah, like I said, if Beal's out, we can consider Troy Brown, we can consider Ish Smith, we can consider Jordan McCray. I think those guys are all would all be viable, even in a tough spot. Let's see, Golden State. I just can't trust these guys right now. The minutes are too up and down. The price is okay for Damian Lee, but I can't recommend it with confidence. See, Bojan Bogdanovic at 5.9K is fine. He's just too score independent for me. Like, I would much prefer to play a guy like Joe Ingles who gets a lot more of the peripheral stats, and when he has a good scoring night, he has the massive upside game. This is one of the better spots against the Pelicans. So I think Joe Ingles stands out as a really safe play here at 5.7K. Let's see, other options. Sandor Ransky at 5.5. The good thing with him is, at least the last couple games, 34 and 40 minutes. So the minutes have been there. The production, not as much, but, if Lauri Markkanen's out of there, that's more usage to go around, so you can consider him, I guess. Hardaway, I believe, he's questionable, so if he plays, that would just definitely take all those secondary pieces out of play for Dallas for me. They already kind of are, to be honest. Chris Dunn, talking about him, being my favorite play there, and the Bulls, the last game against the Celtics, had 40 minutes, 34 fantasy points. If he's going to continue to play those type of minutes, you've got to have interest. Now, I don't think we're going to see 40 minutes from him once again, but at 4.9K, I think he stands out as a pretty decent value option. Other options, let's see. JJ Redick, so he's had a pretty 2 straight pretty solid games, 24 and 28 fantasy points. The price is creeping up there, and it's a bad matchup. Probably not for me. Again, Michael Porter Jr. still tilting about that. Only 12 minutes the last game, or when Mike Malone said 25 minutes. Literally, the quote before the game was, he's going to play 25 minutes. Okay, let's see. Lonnie Walker, so if DeJounte Murray's out, I believe DeJounte Murray was personal reasons, but if he is out once again, we could look to a guy like Lonnie Walker who got 26 minutes that last game he started. So we'll see. I would have some interest there if he's starting once again, if DeJounte Murray's out. Well, let's move on to shooting guard. Again, Beal, if he misses, then we look to those secondary pieces. Donovan Mitchell, I'm fine with if you want to go there. Again, one of the better matchups against the Pelicans. It's been a little bit up and down, but the price tag is okay. Dinwiddie against the Magic. I don't mind it. We got LeVert now back. Kind of caps his upside a little bit, in my opinion, so I'm not going to go there. Zach LaVine at 7.7K. If Lauri Markkanen is out, I would have more interest in LaVine. I still like his price a good amount, even in a tougher spot. I mean, it's not the worst spot, but not the best spot. Thing of LaVine is he's going to shoot the ball a ton, right? 15, 23, 26, 21 shots the last 4 games. And again, price at 7.7K, I think he is firmly in play. He would get definitely a boost if Markkanen is not able to go. Jamal Murray, don't mind him. Again, he's a little bit more up and down, but he's in play for GPPs. Jrue Holiday, this is somewhat significant. If he can't go, That'll be usage boost those other Pelicans, but it's really, really bad spot here against the Jazz. Brogdon's once again out, so that makes Aaron Holiday firmly in play. Rozier, so I talked about him. Didn't end up going with him. He was in my initial build there against Dallas. A little tilting, right? 42 minutes, 50 fancy points. 2 straight really solid games. With Malcolm Brogdon out, that is a boost for Rozier because Brogdon, one of the better defenders. So that is, that is good for Rozier. And again, with him and Devontae Graham, I always talk about it. We know they're going to play the big minutes no matter what. And those are the 2 main catalysts in the offense. So I do have some interest there in Terry Rozier at 6.7K. And he's been a little bit up and down, but I think he stands out as a pretty good option there. Burks, more for GPPs. He did have the big game last time out. Came out the bench. They started Kai Bowman, and Kai Bowman played his least minutes he had played in the last 5 games. Again, you just can't trust Steve Kerr right now. I think Burks would be probably my favorite play here in Golden State because he does have the most upside in my opinion. But it's just really hard to trust the minutes, right? 26, 38, 22, 32. It's all over the place. But at least we know the upside is there. So he would be my favorite play just because he does have that upside in him. Let's see. So Kevin Huerter, we got to have a little bit of interest here. With all those guys out, he did step up there. He's had 32, 39, 41 minutes, 38, 38, and 45 fancy points. He's been amazing. This is a really, really tough spot against Denver. I'm not sure what to do. It kind of feels like chasing, but again, he has had 3 straight good games. So a little bit torn on what I want to do with Huerter. If all those guys are out, again, for Atlanta, I think you can consider him. Aaron Holiday, I think he would stand out. He would stand out as a pretty good play already. I guess since Malcolm Brogdon is out, I kind of misspoke there. Brogdon is out, so Aaron Holiday does stand out as a good play. We have T.J. McConnell questionable as well. If he can't go, I think that solidifies the minutes for Holiday. Maybe he gets a little bit more run, maybe 35 or so minutes. So, yeah, if McConnell can't go as well, I think Aaron Holiday stands out as a really good play at that price. McRae, it's him, Troy Brown, Ish Smith would probably be the guys I would have some interest if Beal's out. Again, he started, so he had the big game off the bench, 50 fantasy points, and he goes inserted in the starting lineup and has a bad game. So it seems like the trend is whoever doesn't start for Washington is going to have the big game. But yeah, I think those 3, McRae, Ish, and Troy Brown, at least for the guards, I would have interest if Beal's out. Again, I would have a lot of interest in AP if Mahimi can't go. Let's see. Marcus Smart, I know, so a little frustrating that he just busted that last game against Chicago. 33 minutes, 16 fantasy points. The game before that, though, against Atlanta, 36 minutes, 46 fantasy points. With Kemba, again, out once again, I'm going back to the well. If you feel burned, if you don't want to go there, I understand it. I know he did burn people that last game, including myself. But we know the upside is there. His upside is just a lot higher with no Kemba. And again, one of the best possible spots. So I'm going to go back to the well with Marcus Smart. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I will be going there at that price at 5.2K. Other options, Derek White, probably not for me. I thought he'd get a little extra run, but typical Popovich just added another man to rotation. No one got the huge minutes. So even if DeJounte Murray's out, I can't go there right now. JJ Barea, he did get 33 minutes. Again, I just can't trust these Rick Carlisle rotations, though. Gary Payton, another one of those guys whose minutes have been all over the place. 10, 35, 11. He either plays 30-plus minutes or 10 minutes. And, yeah, obviously you can't trust those minutes. Justin Holiday, he did have a big game with no Brogdon, 30 minutes, 30 fancy points. I would not chase that. He's not a guy that normally has a whole lot of upside, so I'll let others chase. I'm going to pass there. George Hill, if DiVincenzo is out once again, I would have some interest. I just like the price tag. Now, he's not going to play more than 20 to 25 minutes, but at 3.9K, doesn't have to do a whole lot, so I would have some interest there as a value play. Mills, Forbes, those are guys you can always throw darts at for the Spurs if DeJounte Murray is out once again, but I just can't recommend him with confidence. Yeah, but let's move on to point guard here. Let's see. I already talked about Doncic. Trae Young, so he was huge for me on Saturday at 37 minutes, 62 fancy points. With all those guys out, the upside is just massive. If all those guys are out once again, you have to consider him here at 9.8. The downside is it's a tougher spot against Denver, but I still think he is in play just because we know the upside is huge with him if all those guys are out. De'Aaron Fox at 8.2K, really good spot here. I want the price to go down a little bit more. Like I liked him more when he's in the 7 to 7.5K range. 8.2K seems priced about right. So I'm fine if you want to go there. He just doesn't stand out as a great play to me. Devontae Graham, again, him and Rozier. Again, we know the minutes, right? He played 44 minutes that last game. I believe that game did go to overtime, though. Either way, him and Rozier playing the big minutes. Again, Malcolm Brogdon being out does favor both Rozier and Graham. So I'm perfectly fine if you want to land on either of those guys. Let's see. The OKC guys against Philly, it's probably a pass for me. Everyone healthy. Really, really bad spot. I'll probably look elsewhere. Alonzo Ball at 6.8K has had some pretty decent games here recently. 65, 37, and 55 fantasy points the last 3 games. If Drew Holiday is out, I think he would probably stand out as the best play, even in a tough spot, just because his usage go up. He'll have to do more offensively. And he's kind of on a hot streak right now. So I would have some interest there in Lonzo if Drew Holiday is out, even in a tough spot. Bledsoe, I hate his minutes, right? 16, 20. He did get 24 the last game. He is a guy that can get you there in limited time, but I want to see him play closer to 30 minutes before I can target him really with confidence. Draymond Green, did he? Okay, so he is out. I thought he did get ejected that last game. I thought that was the reason why he had that questionable tag, but he is out. So that actually does open up some things here for Golden State. I got to backtrack a little bit here. I missed that one. So let me go to Golden State really quick. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, yeah, so no Draymond Green. That does open up. Like, he was playing some decent minutes. Again, that game against Minnesota kind of got shafted. Then he got ejected that last game against Detroit. But previously, about 30, right? So those minutes do have to go somewhere. I think a guy like Eric Pascal, my best guess is he gets inserted in the starting lineup. If that's the case, I think he would stand out as a really good value play at this price. I guess they could insert Marquise Chris at the 4. If that's the case, I think he would stand out as a pretty good value play. Spellman, too, they could do a lot of different things. He had a big game that last game against Detroit, 42 fantasy points. So I guess whoever gets inserted in the starting lineup, I would have the most confidence in minutes-wise, whether it be Pascal, whether it be Spellman, or whether it be Chris. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. So, whoever gets inserted in the starting lineup for Golden State, I would have the most interest in. But let's see. Yeah, so Ish Smith, he had the big game off the bench. Sorry. 54 fantasy points. So, I think if Beal's out, once again, you could look to him. You could look to Troy Brown. You could look to Jordan McRae. Other options, let's see. Yeah, McConnell, he is questionable. So if he misses, I think that kind of secures the minutes for Aaron Holiday. And I think maybe that would make Edmund Sumner the backup point guard. Let's see what his price is at. He's at the flat minimum. So he's a value guy I guess you could consider if TJ McConnell's out. We'll see what they end up doing with the rotation there. Let's see. Isaiah Thomas at 4.1K, so got ejected, then only played 17 minutes. It's a little bit hard to trust him right now because the minutes been down. It is a revenge spot, though, so I guess I don't hate taking a shot there at that price. DiVincenzo at 4.1 is questionable. If he plays, I think he's a decent value option, right? Not a guy that's going to play huge minutes, but right around 25 or so. So I'm fine with it as a value guy if he does play. If he misses, you could look at maybe like a George Hill, right? Again, Bowman started the last game and then played his least minutes he had in a while, 14. It's hard to trust Steve Kerr. I think the main interest for the Golden State guys is whoever starts for Draymond and then, maybe Alec Burks. But that is really it. I guess, let me talk about, the Pelicans guys, right? If Drew Holiday's out, maybe Frank Jackson or NAW get in the rotation, you could consider those guys. Or maybe that's more mess with Josh Hart or JJ Redick. That is something to keep an eye on right with the June news. Like JJ or Josh Hart probably get a little bit more run or each one more. Or like Alexander Walker or Frank Jackson, they might get inserted in the rotation. But I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you've been enjoying the content, would appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, if you want to get entered in the giveaway, all you have to do is a like and a comment in the video. It's one in the giveaway. I will be live streaming for this one, probably 45 minutes before lock. Again, I'm a bit under the weather, so I do apologize for my voice kind of crackling there. But yeah, it's also important to follow me on Twitter, guys. It will be in the description below. I'll give my thoughts throughout the day of news that we get. But thanks again for everyone coming and checking the video, guys, and I will see you tomorrow in the live stream.